Have you ever cheated?
Physically.
Hi everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Aisheey Verano. Today I have a special guest on my channel and it's Jamie Lee. Hey. Alright, let's get into today's video. Straight into it, no wasting of time. So yeah, have you ever been caught cheating?
Women are too smart to be caught cheating.
Period.
Way too smart. We don't leave no trail. We make sure our messages are platonically sounding. We just
not platonically sounding.
With those hints. We're not one of those people. Those people like save the name pizza guy. Like it's not a pizza guy. We'll be like, oh, he's our friend. He's my best friend. We've been best friends. Oh, we tried.
Not best friend for ages.
Imagine, we tried like a couple years ago, but it didn't work. It didn't work, so now we're just friends. He's got a girlfriend too.
No, but the funny thing is, I would suggest don't be saying we tried, because when you say we tried, then it gives the impression that there could have been something there, and he's going to be more suspicious of you than you saying, honestly, it's been so platonic from day one. Nothing has ever.
Yeah, but then they still get a little bit funny with that one because like, oh, so it's been platonic for how long? And you've just been friends.
Yeah.
And you sure there wasn't anything involved? But when you're just like, yeah, a couple years ago he liked me, but it just didn't go anywhere and we just decided to be friends. That's a bit more reassuring.
I say that because like when guys bring that up, they actually do say things like, well, he's liked you before, that means he probably still likes you.
I'm cute, of course.
No, that's not going to reassure any man. That's not going to reassure any man that you're not going to be doing a thing with him on the side.
Yeah, no. But this is how you've been caught cheating. So the presumption is we've already been doing a thing on the side.
Okay, it's a direct question to you, and not on a general level. Have you ever been caught cheating?
I've never been caught cheating.
Okay, so you were good. Have you ever cheated?
Physically, no. But sometimes when you know it's not going in the direction you need it to go, and somebody approaches you and you're like, okay, we'll be platonic, but he is giving you life on the side, and your partner's just, you go home and you look at him and you're just looking at him. Can you just look at him and thought, I don't need you right now.
Oh wow, so you're planning your exit?
Yeah, that's it. I've been an exit planner. I've done it once. But
I don't believe that, but okay.
But it wasn't like a physical thing. It was just like he was there, we were just talking. At first we're like, oh, it's gonna be platonic. And then we just so happened to, when I was like, okay, like me and you, we can't be in a relationship anymore because it's just not going anywhere. It just happened that isn't God good? My man was on the side waiting and ready.
How are you going to bring God into this? God is not the reason he was on the side.
And it lasted a couple of years. Like it wasn't just a quick thing. Like no rebounds out here. Just
rebounds that turned into relationships. You mean?
I actually had a rebound, and my rebound was for like 6 months, and then he was there, and I was like, I don't think this is going anywhere. But he actually really liked me, and I didn't know until I met up with him a couple of months ago.
Right, and then he told you.
He was like, I actually thought we were doing something, and I was like, but we were, but you weren't. Obviously, you weren't showing me what we were doing. So how am I meant to know? I moved on. We actually had a proper conversation. It's like we were together, and then all of a sudden, I wasn't your priority anymore.
Is that what you said, or is that what
That's what he said? And I was like,
because your priority was the rebound. You just wanted to get over your previous situation. So you're like, I'm gonna use you real quick, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna just head out.
My guy was just like, when I deep it, like I was just yours, and you just.
Do you feel like that's something you should have said at the start to him? Oh, hey, homeboy, you're a rebound. Maybe don't use it those words, but just
imagine.
No. Like respectfully tell the person, guy, I'm not interested in anything serious. I'm getting over being in a relationship, and so that's what it is. So you fill in the gaps yourself. You know what I mean, right?
But the problem with that was, listen, I'm a changed lady. I don't do this no more. But the problem with that was, I met him when I was on my outs with my ex. So we were just being friendly. Like we met randomly. He was just talking to me. It wasn't sexual or anything like that. But then he was like, you know what, like, I need to stop talking to you because I can see this going somewhere.
Right. And then you didn't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, but then I was already like, I didn't want to be with my ex anymore. We've been together for 2 years, and you know, towards the end, you're making your exit. Like, I took my stuff from his house. He didn't notice. No, he noticed. He's like, where's all your stuff gone? I'm like, oh, it's just like I needed to bring it home and just like figure it out because like my head's just in a different space right now. And he'd be like, oh, you're not coming around tonight? I'd be like, no, I'm just too tired right now. Like, I've got too much going on. He'd be like, so when am I seeing you? And I'm like, oh, I'll see you next week. He's like, but I see you every day. And I'm like, I just need some space. Like, things are just going around in my head. And then I met Joe.
Mentioning names?
No, that's his pseudonym.
Okay, cool.
That's his pseudonym.
Cool. And I was like, girl, did you see my face? I was like, girl, on this YouTube channel, I try not to mention names to save everyone the embarrassment.
And then I met Joe, and we went randomly, and then he was like, well, I don't know if we can keep talking because this is going to go somewhere. And I was like, let it go somewhere then, because then I spoke to the other one and was like, this isn't going anywhere.
Right.
So that was...
So I feel like it's almost like there's always an overlap in a sense.
That was an overlap.
Okay. Alright. I love how you're not saying there's always an overlap. But it's like you're acting like a politician right now. You know how politicians answer the question and then they just get
women don't get caught cheating. We are born and raised politicians. Like, we'll make you think that you're cheating on us when you approach us with that. Like, disclaimer, never cheated. Okay? Physically. Emotionally, I have swayed, but...
what does sway mean?
But
I need more specifics.
It wasn't like, it's never been like I've been banging in the middle of a relationship and I'm liking this guy heavy and we have just like, you know, you're in that moment and then I've turned around and gone like, I'm going to emotionally make myself available to somebody else.
Right.
It's more of, I've already emotionally closed off to you.
Okay.
I'm towards the end of this and you may not see the signs, but I've been picking up my nest and moving it somewhere else for a while.
Right.
So there was no like, I was already emotionally closed, so I was already emotionally available to anything else.
Right.
So does that count as cheating?
It is. Because you did not officially break it. It's the realization for you right now. Like looking at your face. Because the thing is, you haven't fully closed off that chapter. Even though you've emotionally closed it off.
And my intention was to close off the chapter.
Yeah, but you haven't said it. Because the thing is, some people, even after emotionally getting closed off, they eventually work back and then still continue dating and move forward. So with you, if you haven't officially said, hun, this is not working for me, I am done, and then you're entertaining someone else, then that is cheating. That is emotional cheating. Wow. You did not see that coming? Is the realization that you've emotionally...
But...
Bring it in.
I'm a changed person now. We don't do stuff like that anymore.
Now you make sure it's fully done.
Now I'm just like, listen, it's not happening, boo. You know when you're at this stage, it's no longer early 20s. We're like, oh, like I just love you. Now I'm like, I wasn't in love with you. I liked you. We're lustful, like... we just keep it moving these days, especially the way men date these days. They don't date one person. You're probably, there's a list of 10. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't...
Yeah. But on a personal level too, I personally don't date the way certain people date, certain women date. I tend to multi-date. Now, I'm not doing more things with multiple people, and I don't. It's just, however, I'm going on dates. So let's say today you invited me out on a date and I feel like, okay, it's worth my time. Bear in mind, I don't go on dates with a lot of people. Back in the day maybe, but now, more recently, I hardly ever go on dates unless I'm thinking there is a possibility or there's some potential there. So like, for example, I'll go to the occasional dates here and there, and then another person invites me on a date and then I go on that date. And then we sort of explore, and then I talk to another person, we sort of explore. If nothing comes of it, we move.
And I'm the complete opposite. I'm more like, okay, so I'm speaking to one person, let me speak to that one person, see where this goes. If it doesn't go anywhere, then I move on to the next person.
But don't you feel like nowadays, that's not necessarily a good way to date?
I've literally just realized that. A part of me is like, oh wow, like people really be doing the thing out here. Like it's like carousel. It's like merry-go-round.
No,
Do you know what I mean? And I am trying to get used to it, but it's hard. It's hard. Like, I can't. Because can you imagine, like...
The thing about it is this. The way I see it is this. In this world, there's a lot of competition. Whoever rises to the top deserves to be crowned the king. So if we're dating, if I'm dating 5 people or talking to 5 people or getting to know 5 people, and one of them rises and shows that he's really about this is what he wants, this is who he wants, and he's showing me exactly what I need, and he has all the qualities that I need, and I feel like we're a good fit, then I'll go for that one and tell everyone, all right. Now, but you know, one thing I always make sure is clear is that if you ask me, am I talking to multiple people, I will clarify to you, yes, I am speaking to multiple people. I don't believe there's any need to lie. And you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't. We had this conversation where I had to ask if like, you were speaking to multiple people, and he said yes. And I was just like, my head went, then there's really no point in us talking anymore, because I'm not in competition with anybody. Like,
yeah,
it's just, but I am getting used to it. But I will say it's I feel like that makes you more, I feel like emotionally that makes it easier to cheat.
What do you mean?
Because if you're already speaking to multiple people and one of these people rises to the top, but there are others that keep, like, not everyone is the same. Like, some people like keep a couple around because
that's the problem
of this, but then that makes it easier to emotionally cheat or physically cheat because there's so much choice.
Yeah, but there's always going to be choice. My thing is, if you're keeping a few around, that is your biggest problem. You shouldn't keep anyone around. If you know you've chosen to be with this person and this person alone, tell the others, I liked you, we talked, however, there's one person I like more, so I've decided to pursue that. I wish you the best. Simple, right? You say that, there, you can even say like, depending, and then see how that flies, right? However, what people do, some people do, is they keep 5 people on the side. They've chosen one, they're like, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna go back to the others. That's your first problem. You don't do that. Like, but there's always gonna be choice.
There will always be choice.
There will always be choice. In this world, there are choices.
But then you have to make, like, at the end of the day, we're all getting older. Okay, you have to make the choice.
I'm getting younger every day.
Girl, I stay young. We ain't cracking out here. But you have to make the choice and say that I'm going to. But then you're not building anything these days. Like, it used to be back in the days, like, you could build something with somebody. You could go away with somebody, and like you could be comfortable in a relationship and know that your flaws are your flaws, but he's happy to accept them this way, and you're just working it out together. Now it's I've got this flaw, but she doesn't have that flaw. She doesn't have that flaw. She doesn't have that flaw. So I'm going to be a little bit more insecure because he may have so much more choice. Does that make sense?
I hear that, but then isn't that a you problem? The reason I say that is, there were always, even then back in the day when that person chose you, the person had choice. The person had choices. You just were not aware of the fact that they had choices.
That's true.
Nowadays, in this day and age, we're a lot more aware that people have choices. And I think that's what the issue is. But the reality is, they've been had choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, but also the choices, the person decided to choose one person. And then so you get accustomed to being the only one. Now, I think because the reality of it is, we see men are very, very obvious and open about their choices. So you start to feel like, okay, they have choices. But the truth of the matter is, they have choices, you have choices, we all have choices, okay? However, when you're then committed, if you then choose like, okay, you know what, I want to be committed to this person, that is a choice. And this is the thing, I think for me, I feel like commitment is a huge thing. It is, because I'm saying, out of all my choices, I could have had Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, all of this, right? I'm just saying, right? And then I chose you, right? That I'm committing to be with you and you alone, right? So that, for me, commitment is a huge thing, and I think that's why I take it very seriously, as opposed to just like being like, okay, let me hang out with you for a hot minute, and then, you know, I'll decide whether this is gonna be you and me or just you.
I mean, we look at this from very different viewpoints. Like, this is the first time in ages that I've been even actively dating single, and she knows this game so well. I have to ask her for tips and tricks because I don't know this game. Like, I've been at the game for so long. When I entered the game, I was like, nah, this is the hood. This is hood things going on in here. Like, what is this is ghetto,
sis.
And now I'm trying to learn it, and sometimes I'm just like, nah, for real, like, you guys are serious. There was this one point, I can't be airing out my business, but I had a friend, and this friend, she went on a date on Monday, different guy. Tuesday, different guy. Wednesday, different guy. She took a break on Thursday to go to church. Friday, different guy.
Continued.
Saturday, she went clubbing and met 3 guys. Sunday, different guy. And I was just there like, girl, you got time. And she was like, well, you know, I like free food, I like drinks, and I was like, let me sit here and learn, because
Now, for me, I can't do those kind of things because I have too much. I'm too busy for all of that shenanigans. I'm just like, girl, ain't nobody got time for all that. Like, if let's say 20 people want a date, I will look and say, okay, what does this person bring to the table? Okay, do we get along? Does it seem like a good fit? I literally make sure that I filter through you, like the list quickly before I even decide to go on a date. The list, I filter every single opportunity. So I might end up going on maybe 1 date in a month or 2 dates in a month because I filtered them out so well. But the thing is, I give them an opportunity to have conversations with me on the phone. Now, if we have a few conversations, I don't see what you're bringing to the table, then head out. That's that.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I think we're going to end it there today. One bonus tip is, if you're talking to someone and the person is taking so long to respond every single time, perhaps they're seeing other people. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you know every single time that I post. I do short videos and I do long form content. So yeah, just browse through the channel and I'm sure you find a few things that you enjoy. All right, bye guys. Mwah.